So how did you get your start in this?
No, we just, more so my brother honestly was really interested in it. We had a good friend that called us and said things were on the uptick for it, said we needed to try some, and he introduced us to some folks. Central Kentucky Solutions, actually, there in Lexington, who we started out growing for. And it was a long road there, I guess. Learned how to clone, learned how to grow. Ultimately, everything comes back to dollars. I mean, where are you going to get the most dollars out of it? And we had read that crop stress leads to high THC. So we put it on plastic so that we could control that stress.
Do you guys have like a specific watering standard that you guys use? Like what kind of water are you using? Is it just like the regular like county water or something that's
coming from a creek?
Straight, wow, just straight from it. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Creek that we drove over coming in.
Yeah, wow. So you just source right from there.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yep.
That's awesome. There's some politicians in Kentucky that have been fighting hard to get this legalized, you know, and it's really cool from like that 2014 to now moment where like, and you've been part of it, you know, seen that exact shift to where they were like, okay, you can do it, and we were like, really? Like, are you sure? You know, so, and now I'm like, oh my God,
They've been here since the original pilot program that Kentucky opened up.
Wow.
Not year one, we were year 2 or something, but
pretty close to the beginning.
Yeah.
So you had
a handful at that point.
Was that like a specific hemp application license that you had to go for?
Still do, yeah. You still have to apply.
Okay. We just met, but if you see how strict I am with my sourcing, every ingredient I use to, it's my goal to have every ingredient be grown like this. Like eventually farming standards, you know, wouldn't you like to see that, say, for other farming and of other plants as well?
Yeah, well, it's so much cleaner.
Yeah. Oh man. Can you explain the differences of the curing process and why this curing style that you're talking about is different compared to these other players that are it's cutting corners essentially?
A lot of folks that are harvesting green and trying to extract a wet whole plant. You have folks that are drying in the field. You have folks, I know in Oregon, they're using like forestry equipment that just dries it in a hurry. Yep. Whereas here in Kentucky, I guess everybody just uses what they have. In Oregon, they have forestry equipment. Here in Kentucky, we have barns. So
I see.
Hang it up, just let the air pass through, and I think there's a plant laying around here somewhere potentially, but it dries, and we just shuck the flower and leaf off, and we'll show you over here. You know, you're just basically looking at lots of flower and leaf.
That feels good too. Good nug structure on these.
Yeah, and it's got pretty good.
It has a nose,
Yeah, it's got good terpene value.
Yeah, and you know, with hemp strains too, it's actually really hard to find good terps on the strains. Yeah. You know, they usually just smell like just old hay kind of thing. You know, so the first thing I noticed when I walked into got out of the car, I was like, it smells very terpene-y out here. You know,
and that's a characteristic, in particular, of the Bayox and the wife, which with our air drying, there's no sun hitting it, there's no heat hitting it. You know, you retain all that stuff a lot better.
Yeah, and you know, I'm noticing too, it's like, you know, I'm super strict with my buds and stuff, and one of the things I'll do is squeeze it like this to find out just like how it was grown based off of it, and how it's cured too. Like that's a really important part of the process, how you cure it, because if I push this and it all just like broke in my hands, you know,
crumbles,
then the extraction wouldn't be as efficient as something like this, where it's like the terp expression is super strong, the bud structure is nice, it's not too dry, it's not too wet either, because if I go like that, see, breaks just like that. That's exactly what I'm looking for in bud structure too, where it's like really soft, but when you break it, it doesn't like peel off the stick, you know?
Yeah, that's more or less the full rundown from the production side. We get it in the box and hand it over to Colby to do his thing and send it on to you all. So.
And how much weight is in each one of these boxes?
This box is roughly 80 pounds.
Okay.
You're gonna get ballpark 3 to 3.5 of these boxes off every acre. Around 2,500 pounds is what we're going after.
Wow.
So yeah, 30 of these boxes.
Oh wow.